Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die hodling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale or get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die hodling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. Almost gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. In the glass, risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper, welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die hodling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rise. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Shots are noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Melissa, first message. How you doing? Peters from the Netherlands, smoking a joint to your stream. Okay. Well, hopefully you are higher than the price because things have been in a downtrend for a bit now. September's kind of living up to its name. You know, Rectember. Usually we have these crashes, but let's look at CoinGlass today and see what we are over the month right now. Plav, how you doing, man? Alconcori, smash the likes. Thanks, bro. Noah, Ryan, Gear, Steerling. What's up, Steerling? Get some of the otters in here. Sal. Okay. So, so September's still up over the month right now. It's historically gives us crashes. The last 2 Septembers were bullish, but we had bearish Octobers leading into it, so we had like potential recovery stages within September. But this time around, we pumped into September, and we got that correction at the previous point of control from this valley area when we were trying to get acceptance into the 16-day valley area range here. And like it had a lot of price action manipulation over here from it, and when we came in through here, we failed to get proper acceptance. What we needed to see happen is the pullback and then the higher high. Instead, we got an SFP, which kind of initiated us to prepare for the short, because when you have a failure to get acceptance into a valley area, and then you have a bearish change of character, those are really good criteria for jumping into a short, especially if you have a previous valley area down below to help gauge areas of interest and areas for continuations. So for example, when we jumped in on the short, we came up here in the 15-minute time frame, got that double top, change of character here. This told us that it's time to prepare to go short. Some people jumped in right on this, but we went in on the golden pocket retrace from this high to this low right here. We went into the 3-minute time frame during that moment. And what we waited for is an opposing change of character within the 3-minute time frame after hitting anywhere within this zone. Right? So we got that. We jumped in the short. And then we came down. We lost the uptrending momentum. I closed 50% here. We got acceptance into the value area right after. And then we hit our head off the value area high. Sorry, this was the proper acceptance right here. When we got that, that warned us that we could rotate to the value area low. I got out because this was the middle of, I was sleeping at the time. So I wanted to set like a limit exit, like roughly around here. I believe the price action was around here at the time. So I pulled a fib from the low to the high, assumed high. And then, yeah, I wanted to aim for here for an exit plan. And then a stop loss above the high, but my stop loss got hit instead. We hit our head off the value area high, had our rules met again for a short. We had the bearish change of character at a value area high, and then lost momentum and confluence with that. And then we started coming down, and you target the value area low during a situation like that. So whenever you see a loss of uptrending momentum at a value area high and then a bearish change of character, those are all my rules telling me when I should jump into a short. Same with the value area low, break of downtrending momentum, bullish change of character. We had apparently news come out, not news, an action taken from Japan where they sold like a $250 billion worth of ETFs. So that could contribute to the drop that we're having right now. I feel like Japan has a lot over the US right now with how much they own in terms of US Treasury. So I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do there. Hopefully they don't pull the rug. But now we are here and we're below the the 50-day EMA. This was a big area of interest for me for preparing for longs. Right here, we had liquidity that could be swept for these lows. We had a value area high. We had the 50-day EMA, which at the time of doing the analysis where I was preparing for the long, the 50-day EMA was like roughly around here. But yeah, we just melted right through it. We are losing against the VWAP right now. We had like a golfing bearish candle here. Not a tweezer, but like pretty darn close. But if we get the lower low, like full body close below here, then I can see us rotating all the way back down to this previous value area low here. Right, so once you see acceptance into a value area with a break of structure like we did here, you assume the target of the value area low, while being mindful of any barriers along the way, of course. And we're about to do that potentially again. And if we do get that again, then we can rotate all the way down to 109. And like this isn't very strong. Like what's hyper strong support, if you guys are looking for a really good long position, is this uptrending macro daily momentum here, right? This guy, if I zoom out, this came from 16,000, right? We've been holding above this level since 16,000. This is kind of like the pace or the momentum of the entire bull market. And like we're slowly approaching it. And we're, like I talked about, like the moment we came up here, I talked about the possibility of us going range bound all the way until we tap this level again before continuing to go up, hopefully up. Losing daily momentum, in my opinion, is a big deal. So hopefully we go up from there. But yeah, if we get that proper acceptance to here, we can get that rotation down. And then like there's a lot of confluence here, but we need to have a really fast drop to get there before the momentum starts to create a guard against that key level, right? Where we have this uptrending momentum, like slowly, what we can do with the vertical line to kind of give you a visual idea of what I mean. Let's see, let's make it white. Right, this is where the active candle is. So this is the kind of like the apex point between the active candle and the uptrending momentum. And every passing day, we get a higher and higher key level, right? So depending on how fast it takes for us to get down here, like we might have the momentum guard it, but yeah, this is where I'm looking for crazy longs. I don't think we'll get there, but if we do get there, yeah, I'll be looking for a really good long, especially if the 200-day EMA catches up. But yeah, so I have two levels that I'm watching. Right here, it starts at 110, right where we have this previous valley area low and this liquidity down here. So I'll be looking for, let me just mark this really quick. There we go. The pathing structure I'll be looking for will be down here. Like a bullish change of character around this level. If we end up getting that lower low, we'll have that likelihood of a continuation down. We have our strong barrier here at this previous point of control. They compare for a bounce, but it's not going to be the bounce that I'm looking for. How you guys doing? Higher than the price, yeah. Quantum Reality, Blair, Mikey, Wartimer. Are you from Newfoundland? Nova Scotia, sorry. Okay, what do you guys want to look at? So that was Bitcoin. I'm basically looking for longs now that we've gotten and corrected down this far. Yeah, just a quick recap before we move on to another asset that you guys want me to look at. These are my two zones of interest right here. I'll be looking for a bullish change of character here. And if we do get that at over 109.5, 110K level, 110K level, I'll be watching the POC as a barrier. Any structural supply barriers, because we're known, it's fairly common for us to consolidate near points of control. So if we consolidate here, we could create supply concerns. And then we'll watch that along the way up. But overall, I'll be targeting the valley area high once we get down here. Down here, this is a really good spot buy, not just a futures trade. This could be a really good spot purchase for potential buy and hold to retest all-time highs again. Congrats to anyone who held on to this short. We have a member that broke a personal record jumping on this short. He just recently closed it around here. So yeah, awesome job, man. Where was he? Let's pull it up. Yeah, Pluff. Yeah, Pluff, how you doing, man? Congratulations on your short. Can you check Aster? We can do that. Okay, so we have XRP from Ryan, Link from Constantine, Ethereum. Let's go, Kyle. First time watcher, but here for it. Welcome to the crew, man. All right, so Han wants to look at Ethereum, so let's take a peek. I think Ethereum got its butt kicked too from this drop. I looked at the crypto bubbles today, and it's just like pure red. There's Aster that you're talking about. So let's see what's going on there. All right. So last time we were talking about this key level for a long. We got the long into the supply concern. We can delete that now. Now we're looking at this area for support. Let's see, pullback. Yeah, no long criteria. We end up continuing to go down. Delete this now. It's been fully mitigated. It did become, that area is an area of interest now for shorts when we come back up to it. Send it back. There we go. And now we're at our next key level down here. So we just, Yeah, we blasted right through this valley area entirely. And we're using that demand zone that was created above it as support. The moment we lost it, fell straight through it. Now we're hitting our head off this previous point of control at this previous valley area low. Sorry guys, I got a big cough. Let's delete this. So we're kind of at a spot right now where I'll prepare for a long soon. We just need the structural evidence of support. So we have the pullback, the bullish pullback here. And we created like a lower time frame to supply concern here. Let's go to the 15-minute for a sec, guys. Yeah, this wick really does mess things up for our structure. Let's delete this one. Let's mark here in case we get an SFP off this demand zone. We did sweep this area. Let's see, let's zoom out. Oh man, where is it launching me? There we go. Yeah, so we swept the liquidity from below this wick. We swept liquidity from below that wick here during this moment. I'm not sure if anyone would have taken that. It's a little awkward. Like normally when I see sweeps like that, I'll look for a local strong, because it's a bullish SFP, I'll be looking for a local like high to be claimed. Basically it would be something like, but that's because we had such an aggressive drop. Like normally what I would look for when we have SFPs is like structure like this, right? SFP, and then I'll be targeting that previous high, because SFPs are normally an attack on a strong low or a strong high that could induce a change of character. But we never even got close to that after we got that sweep because of how distant we are. I don't even think people even tried. But we have we're in a bullish area now. We just need to wait for structure. Let's see. We do have a supply concern up here that we can watch out for. So we got pieces of the puzzle, but we just need more structure. Nothing that I would like to give advice on in terms of where to enter and stuff like that. We are in an area of interest. Like right now as we speak, this is like the previous valley area range here. So we could range here for a little bit. So once we get more structure, I can give you guys a signal within the community, and we'll probably be targeting this supply concern here, waiting for a rejection to come back down. If we instead continue to go down and come after this low, this is a much better area, like based on the active structure for jumping into longs. So if we take this low, we can start to evolve our active strong high. But yeah, Ethereum's a little bit messy. Just like Bitcoin's a little bit messy too. So if we have that same kind of correlation effect with Bitcoin, where we start taking this low, we could see Bitcoin rotate all the way down to its previous valley area low, as Ethereum comes down to take down to this area of interest. If we zoom out, I wonder what previous valley area we have over there. Nothing, eh? We're just, previous all-time highs. Previous highs, sorry. The longer Ethereum consolidates up here, the better, but this Wyckoff distribution, head and shoulders structure, does make me feel very confident. So we just need to stay above 4K, honestly. The longer Ethereum stays above 4K, the healthier. It allows new investors to come in and old investors to come out. Massive amount of people are holding at a profit right now with Ethereum. And we just had a whole bunch of people had their tokens unlocked from staking. So like this kind of sell pressure is kind of inevitable when we're near an all-time high or just hitting an all-time high and having that many funds just released from staking. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see what XRP looks like. Okay. This is one of our areas of interest for potential longs. We had the confluence of the downtrending momentum, this demand zone. But yeah, we broke right through it. We didn't have any evidence of support, no structural evidence at all. Just this little bounce, and then we came right down. Now we're coming up to give it the opportunity to have it act as resistance. We can update this fixed range volume profile to help us with the active price action. Sorry, guys. Man. Delete this. Bring his value high. Yeah, I got a cough from my son Atlas. Now it won't go away. It's been like a week, but it just got like so much worse this morning. There we go. All right, previous value area data from XRP's range here. This range was about 9 days long, sorry. How we got bought right back into it. We're at the previous value area high in confluence with this previous demand zone that can now act as resistance. In this downtrending momentum that can now also act as resistance again. If we zoom in on lower time frames, we just gotta wait for that opposing change of character, like that bearish change of character. We do have supply right in front of our face. So if we do creep up there, I would be looking for another rejection. So if I were to draw a path, let's see, we got a bit of a regression trend right now. Right here. So if we maintain this regression trend until supply, we'll look for the most recent 2-candle pullback. Use that as our key level, and then prepare for a short when that key level breaks. If we climb up to here, that key level will be roughly right here right now, but we could get more structure to find a better key level. And when that key level breaks, watch the VWAP, of course. Hopefully you get the VWAP break confluence, and then short to the value area low right here. But I think what I would be doing because of this wick, if I do take the short, I would be not just immediately closing some of my position here. I'll be looking for structural evidence of a reversal first before closing, in case we get continuation structure and take out this low. You can hold the trade a little bit longer. So if I were to draw pathing and what I would like to look for, it's like something like this, and then take the short and looking out right around here. For my exit plans will be roughly around here. We scooped up the wick liquidity here. We can delete that and we can add it here. So far, of all the assets that we looked at, XRP actually has structure that I would take for a continuation short. Let's see what else we got. We got a request for, so we did Ethereum, we did XRP. Constantine, right, we want to look at Chainlink. See how it's doing. I'm not sure if you guys saw BNB over the weekend, over the past week, I guess. Man, it just skyrocketed to like over $1,000. So anyone who's holding Karma is doing really well because the Karma liquidity went up by 22%, which means it's going to be harder for, if people take profits, it has less of a price impact now over Karma's price action. Okay, so okay, last time we were talking about Chainlink, we had this downtrending momentum right here. Preparing for longs on this demand zone. We are mindful of this supply zone here, supply zone here. We hit our head off of both of them, had a little bit of turbulence, but ended up getting continuation up to this final little boss here before hitting the technical target, which is up here. But this kind of like caused a bearish change of character reaction, and we started coming down much further. This was roughly around the same time Bitcoin was at 118K. So when we had that confluence of resistance between Bitcoin and Chainlink, you really want to listen, because Chainlink has a lot of Bitcoin pairing liquidity. So when Bitcoin drops, it manipulates Chainlink's price action to drop along with it, even if there is not any sellers. Price actions, like assets, can drop and pump in value without buyers or sellers, based on pairing liquidity. That's why there's such immediate reaction to assets when Bitcoin drops. I can show you a cool example on Karma, actually, because Karma pumped over the weekend when BNB was pumping with no buyers. We got like a 6% pump without any buyers. All right, we mitigate through all this. Let's delete this. Delete this. Never got any bullish opposing change character in any of our key levels from that drop. You zoom out. This is our last little demand zone here from this consolidative range, but we mitigate the whole thing from this candle here. We have another key level here, but it's not nearly as strong as this one. Our previous value area high, low time frame, key level around 1911. Zoom in. Yeah, so we're just got to wait for more structure. Chainlink's at a level right now of interest. Like right as we speak, we're at an area of interest. It's just a matter of getting that proper bullish structure to define a safe entry. Because if we get that lower low, we could see that climb right back down. You don't want to jump in without the bullish structure. And that's why I wait for structural confluence in my key levels, not just ape in on a limit order in them, because of days like this, right? You could have it melt right through all your key levels. We can do it based on full body performance. Maybe get a double bottom structure, but we have a supply zone right here. An hourly order block too. Just wrap the entire area. If we don't get the bullish structure here, like this is my next area of interest. And it would clean up that wick too if we came down here. So between 1991 and 1911, like this is an area where we're going to wait for bullish structure. What's next here, guys? Can you give me an example of the R&R together with fees, what we talked about yesterday? Yeah, we can do that. Kyle, can you please post the Karma ticker? Try looking for it, but there's several different Karmas. Yeah, there is a lot of different Karmas. It's a big bummer. Yeah, the Karma ticker is KRMA on the Binance Smart Chain. So we actually had sellers over the weekend, but we pumped into it because our liquidity went up like crazy. Our liquidity went from, went 22% growth. We're coming up to this area of interest, preparing for potential drop around 12, 14 cents, but it's all based on the holders, right? We're about to get listed on CoinMarketCap, so I'm not sure if anyone's going to be actually interested in selling. And we'll almost get close to our all-time high again. And I'm personally targeting around $1 this cycle for Karma. It's about 10x from here. And it's gonna be a lot easier with all that free liquidity from BNB. Oh, Pluff, thanks for, yeah, Pluff dropped the smart contract. Kyle, can we talk about the R&R? Yes, let's do that really quick. So, yeah, you brought up a good statement the other day about this short and how the range percentage-wise was really tight, even though our R&R was good. You were worried about the fees for the short. And it's a really good thing to think about because your fees impact your net R&R. If you don't know what your net R&R, then you don't really know how truly profitable you're going to be when the trade actually closes. We have now I'm working on something with 11x, so you guys will all get this indicator for free. But basically, what this indicator will do is it'll allow you to map out a trade the same way you would with a long or short position tool, and it'll tell you how profitable you'll actually be after the trade closes. So you input your trading balance here, your preferred leverage. Let's say it's like 10x. You can do your percentage risk, or you can do a fixed dollar value. So if you're trading with $1,000, you should risking to lose on average $10, $10 to $30, depending on your trading style. Your market maker fee, the average right now is 0.06. Sorry, not market. Yeah, your taker fee is 0.06. Your maker is usually around 2.5 these days. I click apply, and then it'll give you this right here on the right hand side. It'll show your actual R&R, and it's all based on the data right here on the right hand side. So your fee should be around $3.21 on the $1,000 account. Entering around here, it tells you your net P&L and your actual net R&R. So it's 1.47 instead of a 2.71. So we need to, like during the conversation yesterday, we were talking about how like we need to hit the value area low in order to hit our full R&R. So if you're targeting from value area high to value area low, like we do with our value areas, you wouldn't want to undercut your target in that scenario because it would hurt your net R&R, which has a big impact of how profitable you are at the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year, right? But yeah. But during one of our trade hunting calls, I'll go over this in more detail with you, and we'll talk about how to manage your risk on something like Blowfin or the exchange that you're using, and how you do it internally within that platform. Okay, trying to catch up here. So we have a request to look at HBAR for gear and render. We'll do HBAR really quick, man. Last time I looked at that was the 15th. Yeah, so the 15th, we're looking at a bounce from here. It looks like we just wicked to the value area low. Got the bounce, break of momentum, hit our head off the previous point control. Or I guess it was active at the time, the active point control. We were worried about this level, but we ended up using it as support. Pretty cool. We can click and drag and move this here now. There we go. And we went right through our key area of interest. We have deviated away from the active value area again. The last time gave us an incredibly great opportunity, but the last time as well, we had over $100 million worth of liquidity down here to be taken. And for our HBAR, that's actually a pretty big deal for the amount of liquidity that was resting down there. Think of like liquidity pools like that as like key areas of interest due to the fact that it allows big players, big market makers, institutions to get in with the lowest amount of price impact. I don't think we had that much liquidity coming down this time, but we do have this key level down here that we're kind of like this demand zone that we're using as support. Send this to back, change the color. So HBAR right now is at a key level. We're been range bound up here for 70 days now, like creating a really good reset. We have a continuation target. Where was it? Oh, it's suggesting 38 cents from this macro double bottom here. Built the descending triangle, broke out, failed against the POC, right? We could adjust our trend line. We validate our trend line with the order books. So if we come back up here, we'll see if there's a giant sell wall or not. If there is a sell wall, then we know that the trend line's being honored. If there's no sell wall, then we know that we could break likely right through it and get that continuation to the value area high. We stacked more liquidity above us from this structure, building a really good exit plan for anyone who's looking to get out with a large amount of funds. But just like everything else, we had this awkward wick down here, really messing with our structure. So I'm hoping that we come down here and mitigate that and prepare for a bullish reversal around here. So I'll be looking for longs on HBAR around 21 cents. I bet there's a buy wall right below this wick. I bet there's a buy wall below a majority of the wicks that we're seeing on all these assets. Let's see if there's one on Bitcoin. So we have one at like the wick's at 111,500. So go to CoinGlass. Oh, look at these crazy sell walls. There's actually no interest below 111,600. So we create a massive fair value gap if we break below 11,600. We drop right down to 11,190. So we'd have an illiquid drop, guys, if we lose that level. That's crazy. So 11660. Yeah, so we'd have an illiquid drop from here to here. Like in an instant. Price action would just teleport from here to here. Yeah. This is a good example of a burst trade. So whenever you see there's two effects that you look for in the order books. These walls, right? These will tell you when price action is going to stop, right? It will slow down around here. Because we can't go past, right now, for example, 113,360 until about 500 Bitcoin is sold at that level. So 113,360. If you mark that, right below this wick, there's a sell wall for 500 Bitcoin, right? And at this level, we'd prepare for rejection, right? Because of the sell wall. But around here, we have basically the opposite of a sell wall or buy wall. We have like a lack of interest from here to here. So it's clearance in the order books from here to here. So if we broke through this level, there's no buyers at all from here to here. So price will just teleport to the next asking price. And we'll have an illiquid drop. And that's what creates these fair value gaps. Okay. So we looked at HBAR. XCN from TMC. Let's take a look at that. XCN. Onyx Coin. Oh yeah, we looked at this before. Maybe not on this chart. There we go, that's clear. Okay. So Onyx has slowed down. Update this poll. So we're right now in a descending channel or descending regression trend, right? If we come down here, this is a big key area of interest for potential longs. Let's go to the 4 hour. This thing's kind of messy to trade, but I can see why you'd want to like invest in a spot hold and sell at the top of ranges and stuff. Like this range value is about, from the value area low to the value area high, it's 165%. It's ridiculous. So if we break down trending momentum again at the value area low, like we did here, you can have a good pump to the value area high. Right now, the active momentum is a little depressing. It's suggesting that we could consolidate for another 50 to 60 days before getting that big move up again. We'll see what happens, but maybe we'll get evolving momentum. Like an example of evolving momentum is like something like this, where you have internal momentum, where you can expect a decent move up after we break a key level, then you just watch supply for your take profit. But yeah, right now this is the active momentum. But yeah, definitely around here, I'll be preparing for longs. For me, if I were to make a recommendation, I wouldn't use futures. I'll just do a spot hold. You could target the value area high again, of course, but like we created some supply concerns along the way up that you should watch out for. We get the active point of control. Move this here. So we're basically where this range bound move was here, where we kind of failed to get that full rotation to the value area high. We got that initial acceptance. Like this here became a supply concern. So there could be residual sell orders in this area. Just prepare for potential rejection off this. Come up that high, but that's a long ways from now. Right now, actively, we just lost momentum. We're consolidating against the 50-day EMA. We get this pennant structure. We broke to the downside. You could get potential longs off of this demand zone down here. We could pull a fib from this low to this high. It wasn't very helpful, no. But yeah, this is definitely a spot that I'll prepare for longs. Let's see what kind of structure you get down here, but it would be a short-term scalp and not like a longer-term hold like you get out of here. So just wait for a bullish change of character around here, and then you can get in a position of strength and try to hold it to the value area high. It's really dependent on how Bitcoin responds to our upcoming key level. Speaking of Bitcoin, let's go back there. What else we got? Let's try to catch up to everybody. ASTR. Right, we want to look at Aster. It's a relatively young asset. We don't have the logo on here yet. I don't think I've done TA on this before. There's not much history on MEXC. Let's try Bybit. It's worse on Bybit. Binance perpetual contracts. It does look like. Okay. Okay, so it dropped with everything else. Let's see, you got two valley areas here and a macro valley area. Let's pull the two individually first. We're stacking right on top of each other. The valley area low is flush with the valley area high. We're at our active valley area low now. We have this downtrending momentum. So it's starting to get squeezed against this demand zone right here. Whenever you see these impulse moves up, base, impulse move, consider that a form of demand with potential residual buy orders, especially if there's order blocks within them. We tapped into it once, twice. We have stacked liquidity below these areas based on order flow. Mark your wicks. For potential SFP setups. So if I were trading this asset, I would put a pre-alarm right here. So when price action crosses this, I can get notified of the price action and then prepare for sweep. So you can do the crossing alarm at 131.78. I might actually take this, so I'm just setting it up for myself. So only once. Okay. But yeah, for Aster, I'll be looking for longs around here. Around 129. $1.29. Wait for the bullish change of character or the local SFP. We have proper structure to confirm an SFP already when we had this pullback. So we just need the sweep, and then you have an internal SFP, and you target the local high where this point of control is. If we instead break past that point of control during that moment, then you can target the valley area high in confluence with the downtrending momentum. Just be mindful of the VWAP, of course, along the way. So the pathing suggestion that I'll be looking for: sweep, break, target here, then look for the exit. Hope for the hold, but look for the exit. That is Aster. That's probably the most cleanest price action that we looked at out of all the assets that we looked at, despite the fact that it's really young and low market cap. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. Wagner pointing out the walls near each other. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of walls above 360 level A. So yeah, you watch your first one. Okay. Let's see. Curious if you could take a look at TNYA. High risk taker got, okay, a friend of yours got yourself roped into it. Well, hopefully it's not a bad rope. Let's see, you said TNYA. I definitely never did TA on this. It's not even on trading views. We might have to look at it on deck screener. TYNA. That's not on, or is it TNYA? Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't find it, man. It only costs about $300 to get listed on deck screener, so I don't see it on here. Might be really young. Yeah, you might have to DM me the contract, man. We can look at hype next, yeah. Let's see. I'm curious about how it held off, because you know, hype tends to have relative strength, and when things go up, it just goes up even harder. Last time we were looking at hype, we were looking for longs. Right, we had all my rules met here. All but one. When we broke the downtrending momentum at the value area low, we like our bullish change character response was higher, but we had a lot of pooled buy liquidity from this double bottom, ascending double bottom, and then we get that full rotation. We targeted the value area high, went beyond that. We tried to use this previous high as support, but we failed to create the higher high, and then we ended up coming down. Got acceptance back inside the valley area during this moment right here, where we pulled back, hit our head at the previous valley area high, and then came down with a lower low. During that moment, you expect a full rotation to the valley area low. You could have front run it with this, of course, but like you had an SFP opportunity, you had a liquid opportunity, I believe. That looks like a liquid opportunity from the wick to the body. No, yeah, we hit the 886. But now we are consolidating against the macro uptrending momentum that's been holding it up since $35 or $36. And we're at the 50-day EMA in confluence with that. We've already mitigated this area of interest here. Oh, this makes me curious about Solana. I gotta take a look at Solana. Solana has like a 12-hour order block level that I was really watching for a potential long too. And I'm wondering where Solana is. Okay, we have a key level right here. It's the hourly key level though. So you might be able to front run it. So we need to break above this to expect a rotation up higher. And our barrier concern would be right in our face actually. So we mitigated this. So let's move this over here. More confluences with that area. I'll honestly be marking this too. I know they stack right on top of each other, which is kind of messy, but you can't ignore it. Alright, so if this breaks, the pathing would likely be a reversal really quickly afterwards. Maybe we'll consolidate against this. Supply zones after a bullish change character normally induce a range. Maybe we'll get support here. Go range bound after breaking this high. Hitting ahead the supply concern, come back down. Find support again, and then consolidate. But that is hype. Hopefully we don't lose this 50-day EMA. If we use it as resistance, if we come down a lot lower. right, cool. If we do return to come back up, we have the confluence of the supply zone and this previous value area low, likely acting as a form of resistance. But I really want to check out Solana now. Yeah, we broke through this level. We got the predicted drop, we just didn't get the predicted bounce. But here's the 12-hour order block. We just mitigated it. My crossing alarm must not have notified me to look. All right, we're at an area now where we gotta prepare for longs. Just gotta just kind of leading the race with some things. We had the supply concern here built. Came up, tapped into it. Forming a range. Now we're coming back down. Could look for like sweeps of these lows. Solana loves to give SFPs. Let's clone this. So I'll be looking for a sweep of this low and attack on this high. If we come down lower, a sweep and a bullish change of character. It'll be an internal one, but okay. The setups are pretty much the same on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, aren't they? Yeah, the structure is pretty much the same on every asset, but the confluences can be unique. So, like for example, Solana has a lot more stacking confluences than the majority of the assets that we looked at. Because in this area, we have the momentum, the 12-hour order block, retest the previous highs, and a golden pocket that we all just tapped into here. We just need structural evidence of like safer support. But it's a big, like the factor right now is like getting above the supply here and trying to front run that through like SFPs and see if we get continuation structure or if we get a rejection instead. I mean, we have a 30-minute order block here. So we have lots of reasons for a rejection when we get up here. But our goal is to find like the safe internal price action that we can jump in on so we can use our knowledge on the external data for continuations to hold our trade a little bit longer. But yeah, Solana's got great confluence. Bitcoin's got, it's okay-ish, but I'd prefer down here if I want to be jumping in longs on Bitcoin. HBAR's got really good confluence. So it's a matter of like picking and choosing. Like they all can look the same, but they all might have unique barriers, right? Like Bitcoin has a decent gap between here and this supply. So if you like trading stuff like that, like into fair value gaps, if that aligns more with your rules, then you take it. But yeah, the structure, everything, yeah, it looks like the picture is really similar. It's just how we got here might be unique for each individual asset. One thing I like to do is I'll pick my top 3 favorites, and then I'll try to sift out reasoning between those 3 and then pick one of those assets. You don't need to trade all 3 of them because the market in crypto especially moves really tightly together. So if you lose one, you're going to lose likely all 3 of those trades. So it's better just to manage your risk appropriately under a single trade. Okay, I got time for like one more, guys. We can do Dogecoin. So we get, and we'll do Cardano too. Dogecoin and Cardano. And I'll take any requests you guys have in the Discord too. After the live here. Okay, so Doge, let's see what you're up to, man. Okay, it did a really good run recently when we broke this downtrend momentum out of Valerie low. Hit our head off the supply concern that we were worried about. Got the higher high. So we're still kind of like, we just fully mitigated the supply, which is great. Now we got to break through this acceptance in this value area, and then we can start getting to that value high one more time. We got this macro uptrending momentum. We have a 4-hour order block in line with momentum and a previous point of control right here. 22,259. We have the previous value area high here that we just hit our head off of, along with the 50-day EMA. So we get that lower low. We'll have acceptance into the value area. And during that time, you target the value area low, but you got to watch your barriers along the way. I'm sure I can fix this trend line a little bit more. But this is a good spot right here, either way. In the order block, 4-hour order block, previous point control. And the 200-day EMA catching up too. That's a really good spot, actually. I don't know what this messing with people's heads, so I just move that. And you'll see we'll get that full rotation to that POC. Yeah, like based on the volume data here, if we get below this wick, we should move quickly to this 4-hour order block. We have a decent valley here. Once we lose that volume shelf, you know, we'll come right to that 4-hour order block. We move quickly between these areas here, guys. For anyone who doesn't know, think of it like dropping a marble off a cliff. The marble will fall really quickly until we get to our next volume shelf. But that's what I'll be looking for Dogecoin right now. Unless we get the reversal structure here, because this is a good key level here. We got demand here, previous value area high. We need to stay above this 50-day EMA, build reversal structure, then we can take the reversal structure back up, but that's a big ask, so we can prepare for both scenarios. Because we're at a key level now, but this one will be a lot better for longs. You have more R&R potential. We have to mark out this level too, unfortunately, along the way up. Right, we got that impulse move down, base, impulse move down, creating supply. All right, that is Dogecoin. And then you want to look at Cardano, eh? Buying any more Cardano at this level for your spot. Let's see. I'm thinking I might break even for Cardano. I had an opportunity to make good gains on my spot hold for Cardano, but I got distracted with other assets. You know, we're hoping for this break. I was going to plan an exit plan there. Because we got in around here, right? Yeah, we got in around here. We did extremely well, but yeah, got too distracted and held on to my position too long. Now I'm back at roughly close. I'm in a profit, but I'm close to break even. But yeah, you're right. I would be preparing for a buy again on Cardano. If it were in a picture, yeah, in a perfect world, I would like to try to get around 77 cents with that 200-day EMA confluence. Right around here. 77.60. I get this low here swept too. All right, this one was already taken for that long. But yeah, really good confluences here. Strong demand zone. Previous value area high. We got 200-day EMA. Liquidity resting below us from this consolidation. So if we do continue down, and this is a good spot to watch. But yeah, it looks like everything else. Its positioning has a little bit of relative weakness. Just because we're below the 50-day EMA, whereas a lot of assets are kind of like hovering on top of it, or some of them are actually above it. So we never got that bounce that we wanted here. Let me delete this noise. Keep that supply zone. We can change this to here. You delete this too. We got a low time frame supply zone here. Can mark that up too. So yeah, it's a matter of waiting for structure. But yeah, I would like to accumulate some more Cardano. Just to front run the government a little bit. Around like 78 cents, 77 cents area around here. So we get that bullish structure. I'll set an alarm for this value area crossing. And I'll let you know if I have the structural evidence I want for a buy order. There we go. Cool, there we go. Sweet. So yeah, I got my crossing alarm at 78.45. And I'll let you know if I buy in the community there. Okay. All right, guys. I'm mostly all caught up. I know I missed a couple of you guys. There's a lot of requests today. It's just a wild crash. A lot of Japan sold some of their assets, and some things trickled into the crypto space. Let's see, that Bitcoin dominance is starting to come back up a bit. But yeah, just sitting on our hands, waiting for the proper structure. Really, that's all we're kind of waiting for. With big drops like this, usually come with strong reversals. So I'm looking for hopefully one of these bigger key levels to be hit for a really good, a longer term swing kind of trade, not like a scalp trade. We had our scalp short kind of convert into the possibility of turning into a swing. Yeah, there are some opportunity here for sure to hold this trade. We never actually breached the value area high. Congrats to anyone who held through this or jumped in on the continuation warnings here. Awesome setups. But now we're waiting for our next awesome setups. We got to get flipping to prepare for bullishness, right? When things are running up, we prepare for the reversal structure. When things are running down, same thing. Prepare for the reversal structure of our key levels. We have our key levels marked, so it's just a matter of waiting for the structural evidence. I just had my alarm go off there. Sorry, guys. What? There's no way. Oh, I must have set the alarm improperly for Cardano. I'll get that fixed. All right, guys. You have a great day. Reach out to me if you need help with anything, and I'll see you in the next live. I'll hopefully have a video ready for you guys tomorrow, an educational video, and Yeah, we'll be trade hunting tomorrow morning at 9:30. If anyone's interested in joining the community, we have a promotion going on right now. The code is ATH for celebrating Ethereum's all-time high. That will get you 50% off and on the first month, or you can get 20% off the entire year. All right, cool, guys. You have a great day. Like I said, reach out to me in Discord if you need help, and I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate everyone who's been liking, subscribing, sharing. Yeah, it is an alarm. Yeah, that's how you get your attention. You got to get your attention, right? All right, see you guys. What time do I stream? 11 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I try my best to release a video for you guys. And then we have our own calls within the community itself too. We have about 5-6 calls a week where we look for trades or just learn about indicators or the market. Or for strategies. We build our own strategies too. All right, cool, guys. I'll see you in the next one.